Alright, hello fellow humans, Chris here. I am back in my hometown, no snow. Yes, for anybody that guessed from my other video, that was Lake Tahoe. And as I've mentioned Lake Tahoe before in the past, and knowing that I'm in Northern California, I guess that was a fairly easy guess to make. I wanted to kind of just do a brief not summary necessarily, but kind of rundown of 2020 for me. This is the first time that I'm doing a video while I'm walking, so hopefully it's not super shaky and annoying or obnoxious, but I'm trying my best. I was just thinking about just kind of reflecting on the last year. My friends there, they say hi. Kind of reflecting on the last year. Obviously the pandemic has been stressful and hard for all of us, but I also wanted to kind of open up about some of the other aspects of the social distancing and kind of how I felt about it. So I've also mentioned before, I've talked about my depression, and part of what goes with depression is also anxiety. Kind of two sides of the same coin. I always think, like, people that I know that struggle with it, they tend to have both, but normally one kind of is more apparent than the other. But anyway, I remember when we first started wearing masks. Actually, I started wearing it before it became mandated, but after it had been recommended by the CDC. At first, when I was wearing it, it felt very awkward because not everybody was wearing it yet. In fact, only probably about 10 or 15% of people were wearing a mask, and this was primarily grocery stores at the time because I really wasn't going anywhere else. But it definitely felt awkward because it was not a normal thing. But I remember one of the first times going out wearing the mask, I passed by an elderly couple, and they gave me such a warm smile, and I don't know what they were thinking, but I always kind of felt like they were sort of indicating thankfulness of that I was like looking out for them by doing that. That's kind of how I took it anyway. And ever since then, I've not felt weird about wearing the mask. I've actually felt good about wearing the mask because I had this idea that I was doing something that was bigger than myself. It's not about protecting myself, it's about protecting other people. And so ever since then, I felt good about it. I felt a sense of solidarity, and especially as more and more people began doing it, it gives you that feeling of all of us being in this together. So anyway, coming at it from the sort of introvert's perspective, because honestly I am, this whole process of like opening up online has been very therapeutic for me, but it's something that I can control. I control the narrative. I decide what and when to share. I've never been a big fan of crowds, social situations, small talk. I hate small talk. I hate people getting too close to me physically, especially strangers in random places, and just forced niceties, I guess, forced conversations. And that's not to say that I don't like people or I don't like having conversations and relationships. They just have to be genuine. And when they don't feel genuine, I'm not digging it. And crowds just make me very, very uneasy. I hate crowds, and I hate people getting too close. So if I'm being honest, the social distancing has been totally fine for me. I have been totally fine wearing masks and keeping my distance from people. The other thing is, I don't have to put on a face. I don't have to put on a fake smile or anything like that if I'm not feeling it. I basically be who I am, and because everybody is under that expectation of keeping their distance, you tend to not get caught up in these sort of uncomfortable or awkward situations. So anyway, that's just my personal, honest view about it. Obviously I've also missed a lot of interactions with real friends and people that I haven't seen in a long time. So that part is obviously unfortunate, and we have to be cognizant of why we're doing what we're doing. But those are just my thoughts on that part of it, of the things that aren't always said about mask wearing. I also wanted to kind of ask a question, and initially I was thinking about asking this at the beginning of the video, unless people, in case people tuned off before I got to it, but I'll assume that anybody that's still watching at this point is a person who's more interested or invested somewhat in the channel, and would hopefully be more likely to give me their thoughts. So for those that know or don't know, I actually started a second channel, and in fact I might actually cheat and put this video on both channels just to get a more broad response. So my question is, do you think that I should continue to have one channel be like socially based, political, current events commentary, and then have a separate channel for art and personal stories, things like what I'm doing right now? I started a couple weeks ago this second channel because my fear was that I was going to potentially drive people away who were only on the first channel for the social commentary type stuff, but then at the same time there was a lot of people that responded really well to the art stuff and the more personal stories and things like that. So I was just I wanted to make sure that I was capitalizing on the interest, I guess is what I'm trying to say. The couple of the art videos I did got a lot of positive response, and a lot of people started watching them, but then I also think they picked up a lot of people who are only interested in art. People find your videos based on recommendations and subject matter, so I think I picked up a lot of people from doing the art stuff, but those people may not necessarily be interested in what I'm talking about now, the personal stuff. So I guess what I'm trying to ask is, what would you do? Would you just have a completely separate channel, or would you just consolidate it and have, Thanks for the Words is my story, and in all its different forms? It's something I've been thinking about, because it's like you want to have your niche, right? Your what brings your audience together, and finding your target audience. So, and I do think there is some layover. There are some people who are interested in both. So anyway, I would just be interested in your thoughts. If you could let me know, I would appreciate it. I'll probably put this video on both channels, and just to see what people think. There's the friends again. And that's the other thing I want to talk about really briefly, was just the experience in Lake Tahoe. So being up in Lake Tahoe for New Year's was really kind of surreal this year, for probably obvious reasons. But I've gone to Tahoe. I've gone to Tahoe. I can't talk. I've gone to Tahoe several times over my life. Usually it's for skiing. January 1st tends to be a really good skiing day, but and Tahoe itself gets very crowded. Downtown, right at State Line where all the casinos are, it becomes like a miniature Times Square. So none of that was happening this year, of course, and it was interesting just being down there for that. So I have a family home up there, so I'm not really a tourist per se because I have a residence up there, but there weren't really people showing up. I don't think generally as tourists, not as much as normally. So it was empty. It was really, there was nobody there. It was really kind of incredible, and it kind of got me just reflecting on everything that's been going on. But I think that's kind of what made me want to talk about the kind of unforeseen benefits of this pandemic for us introverts, is being able to feel like we have space. And I remember being up in Tahoe a couple months ago, and when I went to go eat at Denny's, they were actually doing indoor seating, but it was only 25% capacity. So it was, honestly, it was pretty nice, just not having people everywhere. And so, yeah, it was just something I was thinking about. So kind of wanted to share that experience. So anyway, thanks for joining me on this short walk. I'll be talking to y'all again really soon. Thanks for checking in on me again. I hope you all had a happy New Year celebration. Everyone stayed safe, and looking forward to bigger and better things for all of us this year. Have a great rest of your day, and remember, don't be afraid to question the consensus. I got snow all in here. Well, I got snow in here.